CD-ROM was dumped due to it being inferior. This begins the amazing tale of every Nintendo sex. Hey everyone, it's Jason from Game-Rave.com, and this is Game-Rave TV. So if you saw the title of the episode and thought, why is Jason talking about Nintendo in his PlayStation segment, it's because the NX's release is significantly tied to a historical pattern going all the way back to PlayStation 1. And rest assured, this is the good part of the pattern. Nintendo, if nothing else, knows how to bounce back from their mistakes in the grandest and yet simplest fashion possible. To understand the situation, we need to piggyback on some other recent news, and that's really where this story starts. During the running of this episode, master mod maker Ben Heck was given permission to tear down the now famous and very real Super Nintendo PlayStation prototype. During his teardown, he went through and compared all the involved specs and pieces. It turns out that the Super Nintendo CD-ROM drive specs, at least in prototype form, would have been no better or possibly worse than the Sega CD. And that's where this pattern starts. If we take it that aside from corporate politics that the CD-ROM was dumped due to its being inferior, this begins the amazing tale of every one of Nintendo's successes from there on. With the CD-ROM out of the way, that moment gave birth to the Nintendo 64 and the entire PlayStation legacy. Now, clearly the PlayStation 1 was awesome, that's why we're here. However, the Nintendo 64 started a game of cat and mouse with other systems that developers of other systems had never seen before. Now, besides the cartridge, the Nintendo 64's simple claim to fame was that it had 4 controller ports. In a world of multi-taps, 4 scores, team taps, and turbo taps, this meant one less accessory to buy, and that 4-player mode was automatically there. Friends would only need to bring their controllers over in case you had a shortage. In the present day, this is referred to as couch co-op, meaning you didn't need a stupid paid online subscription to play with your friends who now have to play across the city. This simple act of inclusion not only paved the way for the system's Fun Machine legacy, it also set the tone for systems to come, as the Gamecube, Xbox, and Dreamcast, and even the original Day 1 PlayStation 3 all include 4 controller ports. Up to my final day at GameStop, the Nintendo 64 was the most requested retro system people were looking for, simply because everyone wanted the 4-player GoldenEye Mario Kart back one more time. With that success, Nintendo moved on to the Gamecube, a system whose only real standout feature was its mini-CD approach to the media. Now, despite better graphics capabilities and the option to play your Game Boy Advance games with an add-on, the little purple box just could not keep up with the PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox. Third-party support was light, even though Nintendo was trying their best to support the system, with amazing games like Metroid Prime 1 and 2 and Eternal Darkness. The GameCube is still often viewed as a failure. Now, here's where the simpleness of Nintendo's fixes comes into glorious, mind-blowing view. With the Xbox 360 already on the market and the hyped PlayStation 3 nipping at its heels, Nintendo simply re-released the GameCube with a magic wand. And the world went fucking nuts. Back on the high seat, once again everyone looked to Nintendo to make that extra buck, with Microsoft turning to their Kinect support and the PlayStation attempting the hilariously underpowered Move controller setup. A setup so bad, you wonder if they made PlayStation VR just in the hopes that they could sell through the warehouse full of unsold Move controllers. So with billions in the bank thanks to their magic wand, Nintendo once again set off to make the next big thing. But this time, just like the GameCube, they went for a huge upgrade in graphics and connectivity. The unveiling of the Wii U and its gamepad was one of Nintendo's biggest mistakes in their entire history. That's including the Virtual Boy. The mistake wasn't in the system itself per se, it was how they revealed the gamepad first with almost no explanation of the console behind it. Literally. This misstep caused a lot of confusion on what the system was. Many people took the gamepad to be a portable system that you could leave the house with. Even on the kiosk, the only thing people saw was the gamepad with the machine hiding behind it in glass. It also didn't help that the gamepad, the main feature of the system, was essentially either tossed aside by third-party developers or was the reason they didn't feel like porting a game to the system. Extra work means extra cost, and that's just not something you want to spend on with a system that isn't selling real well. Which brings us to the present day. With the Wii U all but dead, barely breathing to simply take hold of the Zelda game everyone wants, Nintendo once again needed a simple fix. This time, however, the simple fix came in a category that Nintendo is not really well known for. Cell phones. Pokemon Go is that simple fix, an almost retool of the developer's other game, Ingress. With an app that is essentially walking, Nintendo's stock has skyrocketed people are going crazy, and everyone else not playing Pokemon Go are confused by all the people in their front yard. Pokemon Go is going to be the Trojan horse to the Nintendo NX, which is Nintendo's return to form. Now, admittedly, Nintendo has been very secret about the project, and with good reason. This is their realization that they need to get the announcement just right and avoid the situation the Wii U caused. It's also been rumored that they're holding off the release of the system just for a little bit longer in the hopes to add VR support, which would be another cool part of it. The biggest mystery, though, is whatever its gimmick is, that's what's going to bring some crazy back to the gaming industry. We just have to wait and see. I'd be willing to wager a copy of Mortal Kombat Trilogy that the NX has some sort of Pokemon farm app built in there for Pokemon Go. Pretty sure that would sell a few systems. Considering that Sony and Microsoft are already rebuilding their systems practically from scratch with Microsoft, one can only imagine what this simple monkey wrench the NX is going to throw into the party. I cannot wait to see it. Alright guys, that does it for this week. Just want to give you guys a heads up. The game room is almost back to being normal. Hopefully within the next week or two we'll be back in there recording. I can't wait. I missed that room so much. You have no idea. That being said, guys, as always, like, subscribe, tell your friends about us. Right now we're on pace to be at 1 million views with about 2,000 subscribers, so figure that one out. That being said, we'll see you guys next week on Pause Mode. Have a great one. Take care.